Alan Green versus Ruben Williams, Friday night fights. We'll get into fights, but good to see Alan Green. Friday night fights, January 4th.
Great way to start the year off there.
Yep.
With Friday night fights.
And Calzaghe versus Wright, looking possible for 168. If you haven't heard, you've heard. Yeah. But if you haven't heard, Calzaghe and Hopkins are having words like crazy.
They got in each other's face at the weigh-in for Mayweather.
They're both wanting the fight.
Yeah, obviously.
It's coming to terms on the fight that they're both.
Actually, I've read 2 reports yesterday and today that they have made an agreement for a 50-50 split. So.
Good.
Yeah, so maybe it's very close to getting a deal done. Obviously, no date yet confirmed, of course.
Calzaghe's obviously the bigger draw in the UK. Hopkins obviously the bigger draw in America.
Obviously.
But Hopkins isn't as big of a draw as he fucking thinks he is. But they've been going back and forth. Hopefully this is signed.
Yes.
And if Calzaghe versus Wright were to happen, it'd be at 168. No.
And if Calzaghe Hopkins happens, it'll be at light heavyweight 175 because Calzaghe would
really shouldn't matter.
No, it would want.
It could. To me, I think it would be wiser for them to have it at 168 since Calzaghe has the titles and he's had them so long.
Yeah.
It'd make more sense.
Yeah,
especially,
that's true.
Especially it's not like Hopkins is going to struggle to make 168. No, he made 160 for 20 years or however long he was there.
Very long time. He's only had 2 fights above 160, so. And he constantly weighed in at like 154 and 157 when he was fighting at 160, so. Obviously.
Actually, I think his pro debut was at like 175 or something.
Yeah, his first ever fight was light heavyweight against Clinton Mitchell, which he lost somehow.
Clinton Mitchell, 1-1-1.
Yep, absolutely. So you must have been a real shitty opponent, huh? Yeah, some guy named Bernard Hopkins. Oh,
crazy.
Really? Yeah, I'm sure that's true.
So the 2 guys he had a draw with and lost to were nobodies.
Yeah, but he beats Bernard Hopkins somehow. Who knows?
Anyhow, getting into other news, Luis Collazo versus Nelson Linares and Jones versus Trinidad
Undercard.
should be on there.
Yeah, it is.
And Miguel Cotto versus Sugar Shane Mosley did 400,000 or more buys, pay-per-view buys.
That's pretty low, I think, for that. I mean, I would have thought that would have got a little more. So.
I'm not surprised. Look at all the pay-per-views we've had this year.
Yeah, but I mean, that was a pretty damn big fight.
Still, that's killing. It's all these pay-per-views this year. I guarantee you that's the reason that's low. That's still good. It's still good numbers. Nothing to... It's all these damn pay-per-views they're having this year. It's
quit putting everything on pay-per-view.
Exactly.
No pay-per-views. That's what we need.
Exactly. It's this writer's strike's going on.
Yeah.
Why aren't the networks... See, this is why boxing is so stupid sometimes. There's no one that's going to go and put a big fight on network TV. If they do anything, which they won't. They'll go and put friggin'... they'll go put Edner Cherry on or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Or they'll put prospects on that no one's heard of.
Exactly. So that no
mainstream...
Yeah, that no non-boxing fan is going to care about or watch.
And
you put Mayweather on something like this, everybody's going to watch.
And they'll put it on in the afternoon. That crap that they did before. I mean, why do that? Why not give a couple good fights away?
Yes.
And bring in a lot more revenue on the backside of that.
Yep.
Plus all the advertising they get.
Absolutely. More than pay-per-view. More than you would get from pay-per-view.
Definitely, especially some of these pay-per-views.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like that one, that would have been one to put on if they knew they were going to get that many buys. They would have done better. Anyhow, Cotto versus Mosley did that many. Cotto's wanting De La Hoya. His team saying they're really pushing for the De La Hoya fight.
May 3rd, I guess. I don't know if they're pushing for that date. I know Cotto supposedly...
That is the date they're wanting.
Because Cotto supposedly has a March 8th date on HBO.
That's not the thing. The June fight. How's he gonna do his big June fight?
He wouldn't if he fights in May, of course. And De La Hoya's not going to go fight in June because he's not going to sacrifice the May 3rd date because that's something. Well, it's Cinco de Mayo weekend, so
that'd be kind of screwed up though for Cotto to miss a June thing.
For that, and it'd be screwed up for De La Hoya to miss his for Cotto, which that didn't happen.
That didn't.
But if anybody's going to make the sacrifice, it's going to have to be Cotto. But anyway, well, I guess they're targeting the May 3rd date. What would be a good solution is probably just to wait until the September date, because De La Hoya said he wanted to fight in September also. So
let them get their wins. Have that be like De La Hoya fights his date.
Yeah,
Cotto
fights in March and June, and then
you do some Golden Boy co-promotion stuff with both of those cards.
Yeah, absolutely.
A Golden Boy fighter and an Aram fighter on both cards, and and have it be two people that are going to fight each other. Make it a little rivalry. Then you sell it in September for
absolutely September 13th would be the date
for the big showdown.
And just let's go ahead and say, just talk about it a little. Who would you pick in that fight?
Wait, which one?
De La Hoya and Cotto, if they were to fight.
Oh, we'll get to that in the mailbag.
Oh, okay, that's a question.
But anyhow, getting back. Okay, in other news, sticking at welterweight, Paul Williams versus Carlos Quintana.
Rumored.
Very rumored, but very likely for February 2nd.
Yeah,
Williams will definitely be fighting someone.
Yeah, he's fighting somebody. Now with Cintron out, of course.
Yep.
They looked for an opponent. Quintana and Judah were scheduled to fight. I mean, that was a rumor too. Nothing's set. But,
but Judah, by the way, is going to be fighting on the Taylor Pavlik undercard. Hopefully shown.
Oh yeah, it'll be shown. I mean, yeah, it has to be. Yeah.
But anyhow, now if we find 3 other fights, period. Apparently.
So who knows who his opponent will be if it's not Quintana? I mean,
don't know.
Hopefully it's a decent opponent.
Anyhow, also Juan Diaz versus Mike Katsidis is signed for February 9th.
HBO.
Finally signed. This was supposed to be like late January.
Yeah, January 26th. Now we have
Povetkin versus Chambers and the Jones
Trinidad replay.
Yeah. So
watch the replay.
And I'll be watching the fight. Povetkin's going to beat Chambers. I'm
sure he will.
Yeah. And then he gets to get beat up by Vladimir Klitschko in a useless match. But anyhow. Andre Berto going to be fighting on Showtime now, exclusively for now.
Maybe. This is a rumor.
This is what they're claiming.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be on Showbox February 29th.
Yeah. So.
Almost seems retrograde for him to go to Showbox right now.
He's been on HBO Boxing After Dark now twice.
Yeah, it seems like he could at least be on Showtime Championship Boxing now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Whatever, they'll make an excellent...
Yeah, because the reason was, so far that we've heard, is that HBO was just unable to guarantee him dates. So he's just kind of got fed up with it, which I don't blame him.
Yep.
So.
I think a lot of people should do that.
Yeah, absolutely. They're full of shit, saying they don't have enough dates anyway.
Don't let a network dictate anything to you.
Absolutely.
But anyhow...